I'm James Lavelle, and I run u.n.k.l.e. Drum and bass to techno to hip hop to alternative. That is what we're into, and that is what u.n.k.l.e represents, and hopefully it represents some of the best of that kind of music. I started the label because I wanted something to fit in between two labels which were kind of ruling the scene at the time, which was Talking Loud, which was the more commercial side of the music, and Acid Jazz, which is the more underground side of the music. I wanted something to be younger and more street orientated. I come from a background of dance music and hip hop predominantly, and I wanted something that would fit in more to that scene but still embrace what was going on in London at the time. The first year of u.n.k.l.e was kind of orientated to trying to accommodate the scene of which you were part of. So the label changed when I put a record out by a guy called DJ Shadow, which was an instrumental hip-hop record. Kind of in the way that techno and house has always been predominantly instrumental and has taken you on a journey. I felt that there was room for that in hip-hop. I put this record out and kind of went off on a limb with it because everybody was kind of like, nah, you know, this isn't right, this isn't, you know, this kind of record is just not going to do anything, and that really changed things because instead of wanting to aspire to other people, we created something new, and that was one of the main turning points of u.n.k.l.e. The main music that I always was into was hip hop, and hip hop started as being very diverse. If you listen to a record by Africa Bambaataa like Death Mix, it incorporates Gary Newman to James Brown, and I think a lot of the best artists in the world are people that embrace different forms of music, and that's important to me. The most important thing with u.n.k.l.e is it kind of is important to me that it's a kind of cultural thing in the same way that hip hop was in the 80s when it started. It was about the way you dressed, the music you listened to, the way you danced, the trainers on your feet, the way you row, everything. So the way skateboarding is like that, and those scenes are things that I've always been heavily into, and I hope u.n.k.l.e represents that. I think that's why it's quite diverse and quite all over the place in this musical direction, because the skate scene and the hip hop scene was like that when I was really into it. The track that's on the CD-ROM, which is a kind of outtake from an u.n.k.l.e session, was done with a classic New York 80s rapper and graffiti writer called u.n.k.l.e. It basically is one of the classic kind of undiscovered hip-hop records of the 80s, it basically influenced a lot of big rappers at the moment, like Be Real from Cypress Hill. Heavily sampled, u.n.k.l.e was heavily sampled by people like the Beastie Boys. We managed to track him down. He recorded some vocals, and the track's called Rock On, and basically represents a lyric from his first record, which was Bebop, which was one of the classic lines was Rock On from that record. It's kind of what you always remember from that record, and we did this track with him. And it's a track that is coming out in a different form on the u.n.k.l.e album.